Welcome back, Freedom Protectors. Today I'm going to show you MGB's prepping for perfection. Okay, now you may have heard of the 25-cent trigger job, and anybody who's ever done one will tell you that it makes an enormous difference with your trigger pull. I mean, it's a fantastic modification for the Glock. However, it's isolated to really that trigger pull. So what I'm going to show you is how to branch that out, how to prep everything, right? All of your plastic parts, all of your metal components, get them working and have that same beautiful action, but across the entire gun. Now look, I always do this before, like if I'm going to build a Polymer 80, I'll do it before I actually build the Polymer 80. That way when I'm done with the Polymer 80, I can just go right to assembly. I don't have to stop and then do all this stuff, okay? So I always prep all of my parts ahead of time, get everything ready to go so that I can skip straight to assembly. All right, let's go ahead and start to take a look at some of our parts. Now, this is a lower parts kit. Now look, why do you want to do some of this stuff? Well, first and foremost, with this prepping for perfection job that I'm going to show you, the reality is that you are going to have beautiful action out of your gun all across the board. To understand that, you have metal components interacting with metal components, you have metal components interacting with plastic components, you have metal components and plastic components interacting with MIM parts, okay? And the reality is we want everything to play super nice together. We want beautiful action in our gun. So, I mean, that should be enough reason, okay? But the second thing, if you do this, that you'll see, is that cleaning your gun becomes an absolute breeze, okay? When these parts come, like this trigger bar here is absolutely disgusting, as well as all the other parts, okay? But it's just absolutely disgusting, and the reality is as you're shooting, all that carbon is sticking to this trigger bar, okay, and the other components. But you feel it, it's very tacky, it's sticky, it's just no good. All right, it's no good to really, I mean, we're talking about a gun here, folks, okay? We want it to be nice and smooth and polished. Why? Well, because the carbon's not going to stick to that as easy as when it's already dirty. And what you'll see, not only will you have great action, but you'll see that when you actually go to clean your gun, you're not sitting there scrubbing away with the brush, going crazy, just trying to get the carbon off. You just give it a spray and you wipe it right off, and it is good to go. And it just makes the maintenance portion of owning a gun so much easier, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of separate and chunk out what I would say is like pieces, okay? So I have a channel liner, so all my plastic pieces, my channel liner, my spacer sleeve, I'll put the MIM parts over here as well, my extractor, we have our trigger housing, and as you can see, it has this in. All right, we're going to take this out in a little bit, but for now I'm going to just put that over there with our plastic components. We have a slide stop, we have our takedown lever, we have our mag release button, and our trigger is a little bit of both, okay? Put the spring cups aside as well. For springs, we have our recoil spring assembly, we have our striker spring, we have our extractor plunger spring, and we have our safety plunger spring. So I'm just going to take that out. And again, we have a leaf spring when it comes to the Glock OEM. So we'll put these to the side over here. And then we have some metal components, right? We have our safety plunger, we have our firing pin, we have our extractor plunger, we have our connector, put that pin over there, and we have our trigger bar, okay? So this is kind of our little groups, right? Our plastic groups, our spring groups, and our metal groups, all right? And each one of them is going to be a little bit different on how I go ahead and I prep those parts, all right? We'll begin with our plastic components. All right, so we have our plastic components out. I have the slide stop over here as well because I want to clean this. I'm not necessarily going to polish the inside because I don't want to take the black off it, okay, because I want it to stay black. But I'm going to show you how I clean that up, because if we really look at it, again, one of these pieces that is just disgusting out of the box. So dirty, so grimy, really no good, okay? I've done a lot of polishing. If you've followed my channel and watched my channel, when we do the frame, when we do the slide, I do a lot of polishing in those videos, but we don't have a centralized video of exactly how to polish the entire kit and the internals, okay? So that's why we're doing this video, so you have everything in one spot to kind of refer to. All right, so I have some Novus here. I have my Dremel press set up because we're going to use that for metal components. So right now I'm just going to use my little drill master, and we're going to get a small polishing wheel. Okay, that's it. And all I do, this is like 10 bucks, right? Easy. It saves me so much time from switching bits. You know, obviously it's only a 1-speed, it's not a variable speed. So you know, if you don't have one, I highly suggest it. I mean, I've killed this thing and it's held up for $10. It's so worth it, right? Bang. All right, so with Novus, it's a plastic polishing series. They have 1, 2, and 3. You know, they have scratch removers, fine removers, all this other stuff. We're going to be using number 1, which is a plastic clean and shine. All right, and it works great. Now, I'm going to just say this up front. You should be wearing gloves throughout this entire process. I'm not going to wear gloves only because I want to show you just how bad my hands will get as we start to prep and polish everything. All right, so I'm just going to shake up the Novus for a second here. It's a liquid, all right? We're going to be using Novus, we're going to be using Flitz, and we're going to be using Mothers, okay? This is a liquid, this is a paste, all right? So let's take our parts. All I'm going to do here is take some Novus liquid, and I'm just going to make a little puddle, just like that. With the trigger housing, this is an essential component in your trigger pull, okay? So you're up here, your trigger's on here, it's on top of this shelf, right? And it comes down, bang, fire, all right? So what I want to do is I want to clean and polish this whole top area, including that shelf, because that shelf, even though this is a smoother plastic, is really dirty. And combined with something as disgusting as that metal, guess what? We don't have really good action here, okay? And you're going to see a difference the minute you fire this weapon. It's just going to be like, boom, perfect. All right, so we're going to put that aside. So I'm going to polish all around here, and I'm going to get into that shelf really good. Now, for now, I'm just leaving this in, okay, because I don't want any polish. This is a liquid. It's, you know, it's like it's water, basically, that can seep into there, and I don't want that to happen, all right? So I'm just going to leave that in. You need one of your small spearheads. People always ask me about the polishing kits, and they're like, oh, MGB, you got 1,000 bits and this, that, and the other. I actually don't. You know, I buy these kits. They come, you know, 50 to 100 pieces. They're dirt cheap. And, you know, I just kind of cycle them out. So it might seem like I have a lot of bits, but they're all part of the same type of kit. Okay, they all come together. So I have some polish in here now. I have some polish on my spearhead, and I'm just going to kind of come in here just like this. Okay, and I'm going to clean all that area on both sides, get it all nice. I'm going to get all up in here on the ridges where my cruciform is coming down and interacting, and I'm going to get in here just like that, okay? So we'll start on this side. Boom. You'll actually feel some roughness as soon as you put it in there, okay? And again, we're not polishing this, we're just cleaning it up, okay? We're making this area nice and slick. It only takes a few seconds to do it, but it makes a world of difference, all right? Especially this shelf area. This shelf area is essential to having really good trigger pull. Now that I did that, this one I use for polishing. I'm going to get the same bit, but I'm going to leave it dry because I want to take off any polishing that is, any polish that is on that trigger housing, okay? So this is just the dry bit, and it's going to help us remove whatever's there. Coming in here. Piece is nice and shiny now. No grime. Perfect. Okay? Then I just take a towel, I kind of wipe it down a little bit. So this piece, look at, nice and clean, nice and shiny, looking great. All right, perfect. All right, then all I do is I take a little bit of air in a can. Okay, by the way, this has saved my marriage about 1,000 times, because I can't tell you how many times I had the air compressor go off at like 3 in the morning when I'm down here in the lab doing stuff and I get screamed at. Okay, so this is really cool. It's just air in a can. Blow out any dust. Okay, so that piece is done. I don't need this ejector. I'm going to swap that out. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this ejector out now. I'm not going to use the 336, and as I said earlier, you know, you'll want to watch my ejection video on why I swap ejectors in 9mm. Okay, so we'll just put that aside. And this component is done. Check. So what I'm going to do here, same method, right? I got some Novus polish in here. This is the spacer sleeve interacting with the firing pin. Extremely important, and I want this nice and cleaned and shiny good as well. So turn this on. Pretty simple. I got my small bit in here, and I just go ahead and do it. Beautiful. Alright, same thing. I'll switch to my dry bit. Alright, same thing. Just give this a quick wipe down. I'll take a Q-tip, stick it in here, make sure that there's no residue left over. Get any dust or lint that might be on there. Bang, nice and shiny. First time quality component. With our channel liner, this will have a spring on it, okay? But this is sitting inside the slide, and bang, your firing pin's peeking out of there, right? And there's a spring that it has to interact with. Well, we want that interaction to be super smooth. So what we're going to do, we're going to do the outside, of course, but realistically, it's the inside that we want to get, okay? So I'm going to get some more Novus here. And actually, I'm going to switch to a different bit here, okay? I'm going to switch to this one. Again, part of the same kit, but fits in here perfectly. And we're going to be able to get in there nice and clean and nice and shiny. And then right in, okay? I'm going to make this firing pin and assembly just absolutely first time quality. Alright? It's going to make a world of difference for you. Alright, so that's all cleaned and polished in. I'm just going to take the same bit, but a dry one, and go over it. Alright. I mean, this piece is just so nice and slick right now. It's 100% first time quality. 100% first time quality. No doubt about it. Okay, so again, I'm just going to take my air can, blow out any dust that might be in there. Alright, let's talk about the mag button, right? So our mag release button, same thing. We want really good action as you're pressing it, mag to drop, okay? So I'm going to take this off. I'm going to go back to my little spearhead here. Alright, that one's done. Back to the dry bit. Get some of our air. So easy. I don't know about you, Freedom Protector, but for me, stuff like this is just therapeutic, right? Everybody's got their release. Prepping parts for guns, building guns is my my release. Okay, so now we have our takedown lever, and we can see here, again, a really dirty component It's disgusting, okay? I don't want a hard polish because I will actually polish this down to the bare metal if I'm using something like the Flitz, okay? That's why I'm using this Novus liquid on this and the slide stop and the extractor, okay? So we're just gonna repeat that process for these 3 pieces. Let's see, it just works so well. Really gets that piece looking stunning, okay? Inside here, into the little beveled area. We always know that when we install this, the beveled area faces us, right? Look, it just cleaned this piece completely. And you know that this piece is a disgusting piece out of the bag. Nice and clean. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Exactly what we want. All right, now this is on the inside of the gun, just like this. And again, look how disgustingly dirty this piece is. I mean, look at that. This piece is absolutely atrocious looking. Look at all that dirt out of the box. I mean, out of the bag, just like that. All right, we don't want any of that in our gun. I mean, it's not going to play nice. This is up against the frame, dragging. No good. No good. So, do our same stuff here. Alright, nice and shiny now. She's nice and clean. Oh, sparkling, baby. Right? Exactly what we want. Alright? First time quality. So now that piece is done. Alright, what do we got left? We got our extractor. All of our plastic pieces are now nice and clean. Looking beautiful, first time quality look, absolutely gorgeous. So we can put these aside for now. I mean, these look great, great. So with our metal spring components that we have here, we're going to be using our Dremel impregnated wheels, 520-02. And so, you know, this is one of those things that I get a lot of emails on, and they're like, thank you for turning us on to these, right? These are fantastic. I would say between this, the brad point bits for drilling your holes, the pen flex shaft, you know, those are some of the most popular things I get big thank yous for, and of course polishing stuff, okay? So with this, it's a pack of 2. I'm going to use one is going to get extremely dirty, so I'm going to go around. All right, this is just soft. It's an impregnated wheel. It's not going to take any material off. It's just going to clean all this nonsense gunk that's on these springs, okay? So it comes with 2. I'm going to put just one aside. I'm also going to use our drill master here, okay? I'm going to put these scissors away. Just put it in. And this is real easy because they're all the same, all right? It's just springs. And just turn it on. Alright, and we're just going to go around, just like this. I mean, bang, just like that. You can already see it cleaning it. Alright, it's that fast. It makes such a big difference. Unacceptable, but now first time quality. Alright, so put that spring over there. Grab our next one. Same stuff for every spring. Alright, that spring's done. Look how dirty that wheel is. What did I say, right? I mean, this is what it's supposed to look like. We took it in brand new, and just 2 springs, just a recoil spring assembly and our striker spring. Look how disgusting those parts are, you know, compared to the original. You saw me take them out of the package, right? I mean, it is. It's just terrible. Yeah, all right, next one. All right, so those 3 are done. All right, nice and clean, first time quality. But this is just, I mean, it's trashed in just 3 little springs, okay? I know you might be tired of me saying it already and complaining about it, but the reality, my friends, is that's unacceptable. It just is. It's unacceptable. Right, I'm gonna switch to the other one. For here, we can clean this. I just don't want to take the time and clean it while I'm trying to film here, okay? But you just put it on here, take a brush, and let it spin on the brush, and we'll clean it, okay? But we are always fighting battery time when I'm recording these videos, okay? Trigger spring is going to be the same thing. You just want to make sure that you don't hit either side of your loops, all right? But same methodology. And bang, I mean, that was disgusting too. Essential component there, and it's absolutely disgusting. Look, I'm just doing this side of it. Look at the difference. Look at the difference. Can we see the difference there? I just did this side to that side. I mean, it's night and day, right? So flip it over. Nice and clean on that side. We need this side to look the same way. Look how dirty that... You just saw me change a bit. That's the trigger spring. That's the trigger spring. Oh my God. Now with this one, it's little. Okay, you really want to go gentle. I'll just hold the Dremel. I won't use the Dremel to go around, and I'll just move the piece around the Dremel. All right. So now all of our springs are done. Next time you hear somebody talk about a 25-cent trigger job, say, look, you know, that's good there, Freedom Protector, but what you really want to do is an MGB prepping for perfection job. That's what you need to do. Forget the 25. What's the point of doing a 25-cent trigger job when the rest of these parts are disgustingly dirty, right? And no good. All right, so that's done. All right, so our metal components, I'm going to be using our Dremel press, which you've seen me use a ton of times, okay? And the reason why I use the Dremel press, oh, by the way, this is great if you guys want to do pins. I get that question a lot. With the brad point bits, the Dremel brad point bits, bang, right? Nice and straight and even. But with the Dremel press, I can keep my two hands free and work all of these components. I use the spearhead, as I talk about, because I can get into the nooks and crannies and all the little tight spots that are on these metal components, okay? We also have our ejector here. So for the metal components I'm going to do our trigger bar. I'm going to do our ejector. I'm going to do our safety plunger. I'm going to do our firing pin striker. We're going to do our extractor plunger, and I'm going to do the connector. For this, I do it in kind of 3 stages, okay? I do a heavy with the flits, which you're going to see me do. We're going to do flits. We're going to flitz them, wipe them off, okay? That's stage 1, each piece. We're going to flitz, polish, wipe them off. Step 1. Then step 2 is I'm going to come in with the mag aluminum polish, right? The mother's polish. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to polish them with this, all right? Wipe them off. That's step 2. And then stage 3, I'm going to go with a buffer wheel, and we're going to mirror shine them, okay? So step 1 is our flits. We just take a tube of our flits. Again, this is a paste. All right, it's going to take off all this heavy stamping and marking that's on there, all this junk that is completely unacceptable. All right, you just take the flits, dip your finger in, get some on the bit, like so, and then you just want to cover the entire trigger bar, okay? The entire bar you want to get just like this. And this bit is going to turn black in about 1 second. It's a brand new bit, but it's going to turn black on us. Okay. I have the Dremel on 12 right now. Alright, just turn it on. And we're going to take all this junk off it in this cleaning stage, okay? Bang. See how black that just got? That's on your trigger bar, my friends. That's where all that dirt and grime is. Spearhead's good. I can get really nice and tight in there. And you want to take your time on this piece. You want to come all along the ridges. You don't want to leave any piece, any part of this piece untouched. You want it polished, all of it. Nice and good. All around the cruciform, every single nook and cranny, you want this polished to perfection. Turn that off, right? I mean, on your trigger. Are you nuts? No way. No way. Look, we can actually see metal now, right? We're starting to see metal again. All right, so stage one, as I said, we're just gonna clean all of these pieces just like this with the flits. A lot of people stop with just that because they're like, wow, that looks great. But you know what? This is MGB channel, man. That's not good enough. Look at all the stuff I just took off. Okay? That's not good enough. We can get it better than that. And it will pay us dividends down the line, not only in firing, but in the maintenance of our weapon. Let's do our striker. Same thing. Okay? Coat it all up. The firing pin itself, I'm not going to touch. I'm just going to get all around here. Everything but that, right? It's another reason why I got a little bit on it. It's another reason why I like the two hands, because I can kind of protect it right there. I'm not holding it, obviously. I'm just protecting it as I come around. All right. Wipe her off. Look, metal. I can see metal, not dirt. Let's talk about our next bigger piece, is our extractor plunger. Same process, right? Get it all around. Get every nook and cranny of it. Nice. Gorgeous piece. Okay. Alright, so what do we got left? Our connector. We'll do that one next. Same thing. This makes a world of difference. We're going to pay particular attention to our angle on the connector. Okay. But you want to do the entire piece all the way around. Same process. I'm going to clean it, take all this dirt off. Incredible difference just with the flits, just getting all that grime off there. Alright, so we have the safety plunger is next. So, you know, that's where your safety plunger spring goes in there. This is why I use the spearhead. I can get right in there, and every time I've ever done this, so much stuff just comes spewing out of there like a volcano. And think about it, your safety spring, your safety plunger spring is sitting in that, right? All grimy. Now that we prepped that little spring and we prepped this, boy, it's gonna make a world of difference for you. Turn that off. Take my Q-tip and go in there and take anything out. See, look at that junk. And last but not least, we have to do the ejector. Now I'm just doing this for demonstration purpose, 336 ejector, but you really want a 3274 ejector or a 47021 19X ejector. Okay, I'm gonna just go ahead and do this. It's a real easy piece to do, nice and flat. Beautiful. Look at how nice and pretty she looks already, right? So let's do now the same exact process just with the mother. So same exact stuff we just did. Is we're going to polish, but we're going to use the mothers. I'm just going to put some right here first. So it's way more than we need. Put that aside. Okay, and I'm going to get our trigger bar first. That's already looking sweet, okay, but this is step 2, and then remember, step 3, we're going to buff, okay? What I'm going to do, though, really quick is I just want to take off any of the heavy stuff that's on this bit, okay? You don't need to change it here. You just need to take off any of the heavy stuff that's actually on the bit. So just got a cleaning brush. Put it around here. You can see the dirt, right? All the loose dirt that's coming off it. Just like so. All right, we're all cleaned up. Now we're gonna get ready to buff, all right? But as you can see, I mean, let me pull the light down here really close. As you can see, we are really already looking fantastic, okay? But this last step, this buffing step, I mean, really just brings it out and makes it like a mirror, okay? And high polished. So I always have just a whole bunch of different felt wheels, different size, again, extremely inexpensive, come with hundreds of these things in the kit, and they work fantastic for this last step. Just buff it out. mirror shine. Almost looks like we chrome plated it. And that's how good it comes out. This makes me so happy. That's pretty. That is pretty. So with the barrel now, we want it to look like our other pieces, right? We want it to look like a mirror. It's a stainless steel barrel, so, you know, if we have window cuts and stuff, we want it poking out there, looking absolutely mint. So everybody's jealous of our beautiful barrel. They're almost going to think it's a chrome-plated barrel, okay? We're going to do the same process that we did with those metal components, okay? We're going to use our flits in stage 1. We're going to use our mothers for stage 2, and then we're going to buff out in stage 3. A couple of things that I want to talk about with the barrel, and actually we also have to do, because we're in the Polymer 80 world as well, we've got to do the front locking block we got to talk about, and the rear rail system, okay? So we want to polish the entire rear rail system, but particularly all up here where our slide is going, okay? And all the way around, we want to polish that nice with the first time quality. So while I'm doing the barrel, I will do my rear rail of the Polymer 80 and the front locking block as well. Right? All along our rail system where our slide is going to come across, we want that to have absolute perfect action coming all the way back, right? So we'll do these three components kind of together. While we're polishing this, don't want a whole bunch of flits and a whole bunch of mothers going down there, and we don't want to get our buffing wheel and have all that lint like we saw go everywhere and go down into the barrel, okay? So you just take some earplugs, some simple earplugs, right? You should have plenty of ear protection, all right? And you're just gonna stick it in there, and we're gonna plug that hole, right? So while we do our polishing job here, we're keeping that barrel nice and protected inside, okay? So on that side, and then we'll do it in the front. That way we can get all over here, all beautiful, peeking out, all right? Just like that. Push it in. So I'm going to do it all in one shot, right? So instead of one piece at a time, I'm going to flitz the barrel, the front locking block of the Polymer 8026, and the rear rail system, okay? Can't tell you how many posts I see, people telling me I have lockup problems. I'm like, polish your rail, polish your barrel. Oh, I did it. Works great now. Yep. I'm going to switch to a clean one because this is what I'm going to do the chamber with. Okay, I'm going to do a clean bit inside that chamber, just like that. Perfect. All right, so now I'm going to go right in the chamber, fits great, and we're just going to polish it up. So this wheel right here I'm using for my feed ramp and my chamber, and the other straight I'm using for the bigger surface areas. And then we'll put in one of our spearheads to get into the nook and crannies. Just like that. And look how dirty. Again, just changed a bit. Bang. Filth. And that's in the barrel of our gun. Look at that. No good. I am like the pin Nazi. And if you watch any of my videos, you know I'm like pins, 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 pins. Okay? So with our trigger pin, usually kicks everybody's butt, right? And you're like, how do you do trigger pins so good? Well, you drilled them correct at the beginning. But, you know, a little bit of polish goes a long way, my friends. So, it's going to come in just like that. See that? Boom, look at all that dirt. That was a brand new bit. That was a brand new bit. And people like, why won't the pin go in? Because the parts, you got to clean them. Okay, one side, let's do the other side. Bang. Perfect. Nice and shiny now in there. Good. Right? That was just the trigger pin, man. Look at that. See what I'm saying? Alright. I know you get the point. You watch these videos because you know I am going to help you as much as I can and get that first time quality look and feel. Alright, so now we have our barrel flitzed, we have our front locking block flitzed, and we have our rear rail all flitzed up. Before I put the flitz away though, I just want to hit the slide really quick. So I'm going to grab the 26 slide here, and I want to hit inside our channels of our slide. The same process, right? I'm going to put the flitz in here. Boom, boom, boom. I'm also going to hit just underneath the hood right here. All right, this is another spot that we oil a slide on. I'm going to hit right in here so that when we're over the hood of the barrel, we're nice and good action there as well. Okay, and very easy breezy. Put your spearhead in there and just go up and down. Nice and easy. So simple. 45 seconds and it's like a whole new weapon. Whole different feel. I'm just gonna get a patch like so, put it around a credit card. I always say that's all the NRA credit card's good for now, right? And just go in the channel here and remove any excess polish that's there, right? Look, see that? Right? It's brand new. So I know you've seen me do this before, but anyway, this is exactly what we do. We're just going to remove the polish. So this is the last piece that we're going to be using the flitz with today. And now we're just going to repeat the same process on our barrel, our front locking block, our rear rail, and this area here with our mothers. But before I do that, I forgot to get under the hood, right? So I'm just going to change bits real quick. Okay, that's it. So wipe that off, use this to wipe off inside the channel, and we're going to repeat with the mothers, and then we're going to do our final buff. So now everything's been mothered up, everything's good to go. Our slide is all set. I did everything with our credit card. So our channels are nice and clean, nice and polished, but we want to buff our rear rail. We want to buff our barrel, which is looking nice and pretty and shiny. Let's see if we get some light over here so we have a good view of it. And our front locking block, we're going to buff that as well, all right? So we're going to get our buffing wheels. I'm going to take this one off because this is the one we used earlier. Get rid of that one. And for the barrel, I'm actually going to use, so again, they come in different sizes and different thicknesses. I'm going to use a thinner one because we want to be able to get all in there and all around here, okay? So you just take it, it's got a little hole, you screw it into the hole, and then put it on to our little drill master, and we are going to buff to a mirror right now. This is the most exciting part for me because you see all that hard work start coming together, right? Just like we did on our other metal components, right? They look absolutely stunning. Ooh-wee! All right, so put it on. Yep, we're nice and tight. Do our 3 pieces, just buff it out. Wowee, huh? Oof. Wow. Just absolutely amazing. Okay, just gonna get into that chamber. Wiped it down earlier. Actually, when you wipe it down, you just put it over the bit, put the cloth in there, and wipe it down, wipe the Meguiar's out. But we want to just kind of go in there with the cleaner wheel and just get any residue that might be in there out. Okay, just like we did earlier, same process. Front rails. Last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some of this, make sure there's nothing, no lint left behind, okay? Any of my parts, any barrel. All right, we're almost there. Last piece is the frame prep. Real quick and dirty. Real easy to do. We're going to use, remember those impregnated buffers? We had two. We used one for those dirty ass springs. Unbelievable, right? Couple of springs from the factory. That's how dirty it is, okay? We're going to take the clean one though, and we're just going to put it in of our impregnated wheel. We'll take a Glock frame here. It doesn't matter, Glock frame, polymer 80. It's going to be pretty much the same thing, but you got these raised protrusions along here I talk about in our frame video. And we have to kind of, you know, these ridges sometimes, yeah, see, they I don't know, they're just not cut right. All right, it doesn't really give good action. And so basically your trigger, look at that gorgeous trigger, guys, right? Basically your trigger is in here, right? And it's rested up against those protrusions. It keeps the trigger bar straight. So you have that metal on polymer contact right there. And all I want to do, I don't want to remove any material. I just want to take that rough edge out of that cut. That's all I'm going to do, okay? So again, you're here. The trigger is in and it's rubbing up against there, okay? And that's it. So I'm going to hit here and I'm going to hit here, right here as well, and right back here, okay? And just a couple seconds, no big deal. Impregnated wheel. And it just makes it slick. It doesn't take any material, just making it nice and slick for us to have good action with that trigger bar. That's it. No biggie. No biggie. Bang, bang, bang. All right, I'm just going to clean up. We'll put our parts out. Take a look at them. All right, we're all cleaned up, Freedom Protectors. All of our parts are looking mint, beautiful, ready to go into our frame and into our slide, right? I mean, beautiful job we did with all of our plastic. Everything's nice and shiny. Looking good. Look how fantastic and nice and clean these pieces are now. They look absolutely wonderful. Our trigger spring, that's a first time quality trigger spring right there, my friends. Very, very nice. Look at our trigger bar. Gorgeous, right? Absolutely stunning. Looks just like a mirror. Nice and shiny. Absolutely wonderful. So look, Freedom Protectors, this is all you do, right? Prepping for perfection. Right out of the gate, you put this in the frame, put this in the slide, and you are going to be 100% good to go. All right, my friends, that's it for today. Semper Fi, do or die.